I always had this sad feeling surrounding the idea of summer. I would always notice it when nothing's really happening. Like a quiet afternoon, light coming through the window, that feeling where time doesn't seem to be asking anything from you. And yet, there's this faint heaviness underneath it. Maybe not sadness exactly, just a sense that the moment you're feeling is fleeting. Watching certain movies, playing certain games, sitting in front of a screen while the day slowly slipped away. I didn't know why those moments felt important, or why they hurt a little once they were over. I just knew those emotions stayed. And years later I realized they were all pointing to the same feeling. There's a Japanese term for this feeling, mono no aware. It roughly means an emotional awareness of impermanence, not grief, not regret, but the sadness that comes from knowing a moment is beautiful because it won't last. What makes mono no aware different is that you feel it while you're inside the moment still, before anything ends, before anything is taken away. And summer is the perfect setting for it. Summer feels endless when you're young. There's less structure, less supervision, time stretches out in strange ways, days blur together, responsibility feels far away. But even as kids, we know the truth. School will come back, routines will return. Something about this freedom is temporary, so the sadness doesn't wait until the end. It arrives early, quietly, sitting alongside the warmth. It's funny, growing up, I always felt bad for the adults because, they had to go to work while I took endless laps around the block and stared at the clouds way too long. But I guess the tables have turned. That's mono no aware working gently in the background. I have to say that word slow because I keep tripping up. I feel this strongly in Digimon the movie, especially in the early sections. The visuals are soft, the pacing is slow. It feels like summer, empty apartments, warm colors, time passing quietly. Tai and Kari raising Agumon feels intimate and fragile, like a lasting memory that you see forming in real time. And later, during the final battle, something changes. All the kids are separated, sitting alone at computers, connected but physically apart. What makes it sad isn't the danger, it's the contrast. Something huge is happening, but summer visuals still linger in the background. It feels like childhood shifting forward, not violently, not tragically, just naturally. Amidst the world-ending threat, some friends are on vacation or spending the summer with relatives, but they still scramble to connect. I remember going to Puerto Rico every summer when I was a kid. My family's from there. And I vividly recall running around trying to catch koki, which are these tiny little fingernail-sized frogs. I remember those times fondly. They were a lot of fun. But simultaneously, I felt isolated. I was on an island far away from my friends, with no one to share my froggy spoils with. I think I spent most of the time counting how many days I had left of summer to spend with my friends before school started again. That same feeling is at the heart of Summer Wars. Summer Wars almost feels like a reboot to the Digimon movie. Cicadas, sunlit countryside, family gatherings, everything about the setting feels warm and alive. And at the same time, there's a massive digital crisis unfolding. People are glued to screens, separated by technology, trying to stop something enormous. What's haunting is how those warm summer vibes press on. The season doesn't pause, summer doesn't acknowledge the crisis, and that mirrors real life. Some of the most important moments you'll ever experience happen quietly. While the world around you stays exactly the same, that realization carries a gentle sadness. Then there's Kingdom Hearts 2 and Roxas. Roxas' story feels like summer distilled in a single character. His life is temporary, his friendships are borrowed, his days numbered. So when he says, I guess my summer vacation is really over, it hurts. Not because summer is ending, but because he is. That line isn't about school or responsibility, it's about disappearance. Roxas experiences a perfect, ordinary life for just long enough to feel real. And that's mono no aware at its sharpest. Realizing something was finite once it's already ending. I think it's pretty cool how anime and video games can open our eyes to those deeper feelings as kids. I might not have drawn any parallels to my life then, but it still felt so relatable. As kids we really don't talk to our peers about our feelings or anything deeper than stats in an RPG.
Life is a fleeting carnival ride that ends when the clock strikes 12.
I think we were all scared of that one kid that gained sentience a little bit too early. But it was nice to have something like Kingdom Hearts to normalize those feelings. What about FLCL? That anime captured this feeling a little differently, through confusion, summer heat, boredom, noise, restlessness, all feelings we have experienced when friends disappeared for the summer. Naota doesn't understand what he's feeling. He just knows something is changing. That's adolescence through Mono no Aware. Sensing impermanence before you had the language for it. Nothing catastrophic happens, but everything feels unstable, and that instability lingers. I'd say this depicts the very tail end of summer, how you're going through all the stages of grief and the end is hurtling towards you, but you can't stop it. In The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, summer feels playful, time feels flexible, mistakes can be undone until they can't. The more she tries to hold on to the moment, the more fragile it becomes, and eventually she has to accept something simple and devastating. You can revisit a moment, but you can't live in it forever. Summer doesn't end because something goes wrong. It ends because time moves forward. And I think all of us have that one summer moment that we could just live in a little bit longer. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like a retro photo of kids playing outside and the caption says something like, "At some point, you and your friends played outside for the last time and nobody knew it." That meme always gets to me. I haven't seen it in a while, but I can't even remember when that last time was for me, so it feels kind of sad. It would be cool to be able to go back and soak it in. Sure, I have the same friends now that I did from elementary school, but you won't find us kicking rocks at the creek. There's a few more bottles involved now, you feel me? But to me, it feels like the loss of innocence. These stories don't make us sad because they end. They make us sad because they remind us of how deeply we once felt. They bring us back to the first time we realized that some moments only happen once. And that awareness, that sensitivity, never really leaves. Mono no Aware isn't despair, it's presence. It's noticing meaning while it's happening. I don't think this sadness means that we're stuck in the past. I think it means that we're paying attention. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this. Stories like these don't just remind us that things end. They help us recognize ourselves inside fleeting moments. They teach us to pay attention, to cherish memories, even as time moves forward. And maybe that's why summer always feels a little sad. Not because it ends, but because for a brief moment, it lets us feel it in real time and reminds us how rare that can be. As always, thanks so much for watching, and down below, let me know how you spent your summers. And did you feel the same thing? Some of us had to go to summer school. If you enjoy hanging out with me and picking apart these feelings, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.